ride around on the electric moped, and I thought I'd jump in here. We're going to be taking off here in a second, and I'll be headed down about, I don't know, a mile or two, but I thought I'd do a little Q&A first, so file on in. We had a Jaden Blue conversation earlier. Jaden Blue going to the mother freaking moon. We had a Bayshore Tooten talk earlier, a Marion Hampton talk, a bunch of sleeper players we're talking about earlier today. Isaiah Likely going to the moon. So file on in, and we'll be doing a Q&A session here on the streets of Phoenix like we did the other night. Poll questions as well. Let me ask down here. I'll start a poll right now. Redraft, PPR. Barely type with this amount that I have on here. Redraft, PPR, Tooten or Tooten, or are we going with Jaden Blue? So let me put that poll in here, and you guys vote. Tooten or Blue? Tooten or Blue? What side are you on? 2025. There we go. Poll begins. Vote down below. Hit that like button on the way in the door. You can hit the triple dot out of that like button. Listening from work says Thomas. Young says Blue all day. Vote in the poll down below. The poll is down below. And let's see here. All right. We got Blue 78%, Tooten 22. Kind of surprising. I mean, not that surprising, but surprising it's such a lambasting. Appreciate you, Thomas, listening from work. Samson beating out Ford. Now I got an awesome mount on the bike now, so you guys can now watch. You guys can now watch a little bit better as I'm riding. And let's see here. You can also flip it this way. Tooten, Blue has a clear path. I believe that is the case. You got several. We'll crank it on out of here. We'll get to moving here. I'm gonna flip this camera around. Hold on a second. Tooten. I took Tooten, says Travis. Travis likes Tooten a little better. I like Blue a little bit better, but honestly, if both were starting, I mean, maybe Tooten would get the nod. If they're both starting right now, Tooten might get the nod over Blue, but honestly, Blue excites me about as much as I'm trying to think of a player that Jaden Blue reminds me of. It's not H-An big. I don't think it can be that ginormous, but I think it could be something along the lines of, man, I'm trying to think of a player that comes to mind. It's like in between Bucky and H-An, but I don't know that we're going to get as much value out of Blue or Tooten, but I think it could be close. Really, really could. I love the kid. He's so explosive, so quick. Tooten as well. They're both super fast, super shifty. The thing you got to like about Tooten if he's starting for Liam Cohen is Liam Cohen picked him, and Liam Cohen successfully turned Bucky into Bucky. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what the votes are. 27 votes. Tooten loses 22% to 7. Oh, Tooten's making a comeback. 28 to 72, ending the poll. About 25, 30 votes. I end the poll. Someone give me a new player debate while I ride the next mile and a half down to the local shopping center so I can stop and have a conversation with you. So someone toss out a really, really good poll I can throw up while I'm riding. You guys can vote. I like Blue, just don't know if he can handle a big workload, says Travis. Chase Brown, Harvey or Hendy. Malik Neighbors are I'm on Raw. Thornton versus Bryant. That's pretty good. Okay, let's do that one. So redraft. Thornton versus what do we say? Thornton versus Bryant. Okay. All right, there's the pole. Let's get it on. Your boy is gonna get out of the way. I'm in the way of someone here. You guys hit me up too long. I forgot you can hear me all right while I'm riding. You guys let me know if you can hear me okay while I'm riding. I don't know if my pods are especially when I'm going faster. Like this, I'm pretty sure you can hear me right now. But can you hear me? Can you hear me clear right now, even with the wind blowing? That's pretty bad. No? You can't hear me? Can't hear you. Okay. It was weird because the other night you guys could. I'm gonna go back to I'm gonna go back over here till they kick me out again. Very distorted. Okay. It's weird. What about right now when I'm traveling at this speed? Can you hear me okay? Am I a little clearer now? Did I put Bryson? Is that what someone's saying? Bryant? No, I put Bryant. So 47-52. Bryant's winning the vote. That's pretty wild. All right, not really wild, but there's so much hype right now around Thornton. You'd think that he would be kind of the golden boy of the moment. All right, they kicked me out of here last time, but let's see how long it takes them to kick me out this time. Hit me with it. Appreciate you all being here, by the way. Bryant winning the vote. We got 43 votes. 43 votes, okay? Bryant, oh no, 50-50. Ended at a tie, at a dead tie. So I guess here's my thinking on Bryant versus Thornton. I mean, do I think that Thornton could be a total league winner? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Do I think Bryant could be potentially a league winner as well? I think that maybe he could be, but he's got maybe a safer floor because he's got potentially a path to the number one spot. Is Thornton a bigger talent? Is Thornton a guy that could reach higher heights than Bryant? Probably. But I think it's definitely something that I think situation could win out for Bryant for 2025. It's possible. But if let's say Thornton got thrusted into the number one job in LV, you got to compete with Bowers. You're talking about being Geno Smith. You're talking about Genty hogging, majority of the work. Really, Bowers and Genty just consuming everything. Even if Thornton gets to number one, he's got to be ultra efficient, which I think he can be. But he needs to get the one spot. How can he be electric, elite, league winning if he doesn't get the one spot? Now, do I think he get the one spot? I think he could. Let's go. I think we're gonna get kicked out of here. So we'll go to this other spot real quick. Hold on. We'll do what we did last time. All right, we'll go over here. The security guards over here don't really like me. Kind of nice to be thought of like a punk though again, you know. This punk's causing trouble. I haven't felt like a punk in years. Kind of like this feeling. He's here to cause trouble, isn't he? He's here. He's here to cause trouble. All right, we're not gonna get in. We're not gonna get in the street here. We're gonna take the sidewalk. We're gonna double dip. Oh, we hit the pedal on the. We knocked the chain off. Your boy knocked the chain off. I hit the cement. That sucks. I hit the pedal on a little piece of the. There was a little bit of the curb that came up, and I hit the pedal on it, and it knocked the chain off. I barely hit it. Well, I didn't put it out back on yet. You don't need the chain to drive. You only need the chain to pedal. Damn, man. That's what I get for trying to be a bike and a car. I mean, motorcycle and a. Hopefully, I didn't do any damage to the pedal, but I hit the pedal. All right, well, I'll park here in a second and do some Q&A. So don't worry. I can't believe I took the pedal. It was a tight. I don't know if you guys saw that opening. It was really small, and I'm like, I got this. And then sure enough, I just freaking slipped it. All right, let's see. Let's see where I clipped it. I don't think it was this side because it was the. Well, it could have been. Yeah, it was. Damn. I hit this side on the. I thought it might have been. Kind of knocked that off. I hit this right here really hard. I don't think I damaged any of this. Thank God. That's their protective measure. Yeah, this is fine. So it's just the chain. So I just need to put it down to the lowest gear and flip it back on. I think we're okay. Damn. I think we got it actually right there. Okay, I think I got it. Fixed it. All right, we're good. Wasn't ideal. Definitely was not ideal to smack beast mode like that, but looks like it's all fixed. I don't know if I jacked the chain up a little bit. It's possible. Could have stretched it out a little. Looks okay. Anyway, yeah, hopefully I didn't loosen it up. Either way, the change is there to, if you need to pedal it. Read my message real quick about the Honda. I mean, I don't know. Joe, I don't know where it is, bro. Just retype it. All right, hit me with the questions. Give me your best dilemma, and let's argue both sides of it. Let's argue both sides of any dilemma you throw at me. I don't care if it's Caleb Williams. Well, the one that we pick. Almost looks like a bobber, kind of, bro. This thing, it really is pretty badass. It definitely feels like a bobber for sure. Garrett or Marv? That's a great debate. Rice or Garrett Wilson? Let's do that. Garrett Wilson, Marv, Garrett Wilson, or Marv and Garrett Wilson. What we say? Rice and okay, Rice, Marv, Garrett Wilson. Let's argue all three, and let me put a poll up, and then that way I'll tell you who I like in what order. Redraft, PPR, rank them. Rank Rice, MHJ, and G Willie. All right, vote down below. I think the way you got to look at this is, as I've said, you got to look at what offense is the best offense. That's number one. Number two, I got grease all over my hands. The best offense you could easily argue is the Kansas City Chiefs, but some might say they don't think the Chiefs are going to throw the ball. You know, like, but that's a dumb argument. Rice was blowing up before he injured his knee. He was doing amazing. It was a short sample of games, but he was tearing it up, and he was a top 5 wide receiver, just like we predicted. He was tearing it up. He was a monster, and he probably would have been a top 5 wide receiver, top 5 to 7 wide receiver. I think he gets right back to that. The only negative would be like, what if his knee injury? What if something wasn't right? You know, but he's out there pulling sleds. He's sprinting 100%. Everything looks fantastic. It was not an interior knee injury like an ACL or interior meniscus injury or anything like that, or a PCL. It wasn't even like it wasn't even an MCL, which would have been a lot more concerning for me. It was an LCL related to the PLC territory of the knee, and it was not interior. I'm not worried about it, and he's already deemed 100%. The other thing you got to consider, though, is that, you know, maybe Worthy's going to take over as the number one. Maybe the rapport between Mahomes and Worthy's too fantastic to slow down, and Rice ends up getting a little bit less work than we think, and they both cancel each other out as second-round capable players, and then everybody's overpaying for Rice as his ADP climbs into the 20 to 24 overall territory, which is where Rice is climbing. Those are the negatives, right? Worthy, the injury, that's it. Even if you think that the KC offense won't be as good as I predict it to be, Rice has already proven when he's on the field, the year prior and the amount of games he was on the field last year, Rice balled out. Rice balled out. There's no time where Rice wasn't exploding. He's been good ever since he's been in the league, and he's going to tear it up. The suspension's not likely at all this year because there's no movement on that front at all. Rice, 100%, as long as he's healthy, should be getting fed more than he can handle. And even if Worthy is better than anybody wants him to be, if you're a Rice believer, Mahomes is going to throw more. If you don't believe that, that's fine. I don't care. But that's my thinking is Mahomes is going to go ape shit in 2025. Just going to go crazy. But, you know, if we're trying to debate, let's say Garrett Wilson, MHJ against them, and just say, okay, fine, you know, we're going to get a ton of production out of Rice. He's going to be top 10 wide receiver, but could Garrett Wilson be even better than that? There's an argument to be made there. Fields turned DJ Moore into a top 5 wide receiver before, you know, and if anybody thinks that the likelihood of Wilson turning or Fields turning Garrett Wilson into a top 5 wide receiver in similar fashion is less likely than what Fields did with DJ Moore, you got another thing coming to you. Because Fields and Garrett Wilson played together in college. The rapport is strong. The rapport is better than anything else that you can find. I mean, this goes back to why a lot of teams, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, why do teams do this? Why they pair everybody together is to get that rapport going. It cuts down the learning curve. They can learn together. They can make mistakes together. Oftentimes, when a rookie wide receiver, and I know that Garrett Wilson's not a rookie and Fields is a rookie, but just kind of pointing out to why it's so impactful. When you have why the Denver Broncos drafted Franklin, that didn't work out yet, but it still could. Is that when these guys are learning together and making mistakes together, sometimes they don't miss a beat. You know what I mean? But Fields already having Garrett Wilson's number. Fields and Garrett Wilson already being like this, the rapport being ultra strong, makes for a strong case that if DJ Moore and Fields can be top 5 in a very limited situation, bad offense overall, bad defense, bad coaching, no other players around. And Garrett Wilson's got no other show in town as well in the receiving room, but there's other players to help keep the offense moving and defenses honest. How does Fields, with his college wide receiver that he knows way better than he knew DJ Moore, how does he not make him a top 5 to 7 wide receiver with a great defense, which will reciprocate and give good field position to the offense? How does Fields not turn Garrett Wilson into a top 5 to 7 wide receiver? So now I've just told you that Rashee Rice is a top 5 to 10 wide receiver, locked in. He's the man. This isn't even a debate, right? But then we move on to Garrett Wilson, and I'm convincing myself that Garrett Wilson's just as worthy as Rice to being a top 5 to 7 wide receiver. So before I draw a conclusion, let's jump down to MHJ. What does MHJ have situationally that these other two guys don't have? Probably problems. Not saying it's guaranteed to be an issue, but you have Trey McBride, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's proven to be pretty limited lately. Not saying he can't mature, but that's one red flag. He needs to mature. His game needs to grow. You got bad play calling in Arizona. That needs to change. That's two things that need to kind of go in parallel. And then you have, a disappointing rookie season, but I think you throw that out because he's 2 long plays away that Kyler missed on. And you could say, well, that's the problem. Kyler missed them, Smitty. I don't think that'll change. But if you think that'll change, if you think their connection got stronger, Marv's going this way, Kyler's going this way, they're learning each other. It's clicking for Marv. Marv even said it didn't click till after midseason for him. If you believe that they'll fix that part, the only 2 red flags are, will they change the play calling? Will they give Marv different looks? Will they expand Marv's route tree? And if they expand his route tree, that solves that problem because he'll take care of the rest. Marv will take care of the rest. Marv is a top 5 to 10 talent. The question is Garrett Wilson and Rashee Rice's situation and the other 7, 8, 9, 10 wide receivers in the NFL that could rank in this conversation, are their situations too good to allow those wide receivers to not finish ahead of Marvin Harrison Jr.? That's the real question at hand. I think Marv has the most difficult situation of the 3. I think Marv has the best ADP value in some circles and then not in others. I've seen Marv go in round 2 in some drafts. I've seen Marv go late 3rd. I've seen Garrett Wilson go late 2 and then mid 3rd. Rice, you're paying a premium. I think if MHJ is your last of the 3 players, it packages in that risk. And so the cost of entry of Marv, Garrett Wilson, and Rice could all be equal, meaning we're arguing cost of entry. Later draft capital for Marv makes him just as valuable as slightly earlier capital of Garrett Wilson and Rice. So that comparative is different, a different argument. So, I think at the end of the day, you got to look at it like this. Garrett Wilson, no obstacles. Played 17 games, 17 games, 17 games. Never missed a game. 3 straight seasons of 17 games. No, there's no obstacles for Garrett Wilson. Better situation. Got rid of Devontae Adams. Breece Hall in a dedicated run game with an improved defense and a reciprocation that will give good field position to both defense and offense for the New York Jets, there's no downside. There's only, this is similar to Bijan. Bijan has no red flags. Bijan has no questions around a situation. Every part of Bijan Robinson's fantasy football value, if you were to break it down by different categories, has improved or stayed the same. There's nothing negative about Bijan Robinson. There's nothing negative about Garrett Wilson. There's really nothing negative, in my opinion, about Rice, but you could question Worthy's rise and the volume that's there, because I think that'll change, but some will say that Mahomes won't, improve and throw more, and his ADOT, all this stuff. It's the depth of the target for Mahomes. So people arguing that over and over and over. You could say those things won't improve, but I see Rice and Garrett Wilson as zero risk. I don't look at the injury risk as anything. Marv does have more risk. I think Marv overcomes it, but it is trying to roll. It is trying to get it is hitting in a hand where there's a chance the dealer might have the same hand as you, or odds are slightly better. He has a better hand, and you're taking a hit and you're holding your breath and the cards flop out and you end up winning. So Marv can be just as good as Garrett. Marv can be just as good as Rice. But if you had to decide between the three, you have to factor in that Garrett's got no risk. Rice has, in my opinion, no risk, but you got to answer that question for yourself. So Garrett Wilson and Rice are no question marks for me. You got to answer those questions for you. Do you believe in Mahomes? If you don't, then red flag is present. Do you believe in his injury risk with the injury that he's overcome, that he's already looks like he's 100% and there's not a question in my mind that he's going to get injured? Do you believe differently? If you believe differently, there's red flags. MHJ, we need Kyler to play better. We need better play calling, and we need Marv to deliver. Marv will deliver upon what he's asked to do. Marv's hands are amazing. Marv is the first one in the building. Marv is the last one to leave. Marv, according to his GM, has never not visited the facility in the offseason. He's out there working 24/7. I could arguably say Marvin Harrison Jr. is in the top 10 in the entire National Football League in work ethic. I could honestly say there might not be a receiver, maybe one or two, just because we don't know their workout routine because it's never been made public, and we know they're a hard worker. But you could make an argument that Marvin Harrison Jr. is the hardest working wide receiver in the National Football League. Given he exited college football as the best wide receiver prospect to maybe ever come out, mixed with his work ethic, mixed with that he had 8 touchdowns, a team leading number, by the way. I don't know why we're freaking out about MHJ. I'm not. I'm certainly not. But the question's a great one. The question is a great one. The question is fantastic because there are perceived red flags, and the only one that has, I think, legitimate ones that will be conquered is MHJ. I think Rice has paper tiger red flags. I think Garrett Wilson has no red flags. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. has legitimate red flags that he will conquer and defeat. So that's what I'm going to say. That's how I evaluate. Anyway, I see my mods timed out one guy for saying I look like I smell like loose pocket change. Well, I'm in Arizona, by the way, my boy, and I just got on a electric moped and rode over here for your viewing pleasure. So I'm sorry if I look a little sweaty. Yeah, he looks like he smells like loose pocket change. Loose pocket change. Hampton or Hunter, I mean, it depends, bro. Hampton and Hunter are very, very close. I smell like money is what he's saying, I guess. It's pretty nice. It's not bad. Not bad. Grab MHA to the moon. Yeah, Evan. Totally, bro. Smitty Dimes. There you go. Smells like 2 divorces and a what, Baker? All right, Baker. You can boot Baker. Hey, Baker, how about we just kick you out? All right, hit me with your question. Next question. That was a great question. And let's look at the vote. Rice, MHJ got third. Garrett Wilson, 24%. I'm a little shocked that Rice ranks so much higher than Garrett Wilson, to be honest with you. 80 votes. Great job. 80 votes. Should we just boot Baker? Yeah, later, Baker. Enjoy yourself, bro. Knicks or Mahomes and redraft? Mahomes, but I love both of them. Bucky in London, that's a great one. Yeah, I don't care about trolls. There's only one reason someone spends time hating on another person, and we all know what that reason is. Okay, redraft. Bucky and London. Bucky and London. Redraft. Do it live. Vote. Go. I would say at the end of the day, this is a tougher question than the other in a way because you got to assume a lot of things. You got to assume that like you're comfortable at running back and wide receiver. Otherwise, because they're so damn close, you're going to lean position and need. I'm always drafting a player and not a position, meaning I don't just go wide receiver, or hey, I'm going to take Smitty. I think I'm going to take a wide receiver in round 2. I don't play that game. But let's assume, for the argument's sake here, that you're totally balanced across the board. You're totally balanced across the board. Yeah, we get a lot more trolls at night because we get introduced to new audiences and stuff when we do the vertical live stream. So my mods will take care of it. Not that it bothers. I don't even care. But anyway, what were we saying? Oh, so let's assume, for the argument's sake, you're a balanced team. You're totally going to be, you're going to be balanced. I mean, you're drafting these guys in round 2, so you don't know yet, but you're going to be balanced. I'm telling you, you're going to have an equal balance across all positions. And, even if you make this move, you'll still be okay. I don't want anybody to think, well, I'd rather be balanced. As soon as we make this pick, we're going to be unbalanced. Let's pretend it's complete balance. If it's redraft, geez, man, I think I'd go Bucky. I love London. Even if it's full PPR, I think I go Bucky. I think if it's full PPR, it's really damn close. If it's half PPR, I go Bucky. If it's non PPR, I go Bucky. I definitely go Bucky. But when it's full PPR, I'm leaning Bucky. He's going to catch a bunch of footballs. This coaching staff has already made it known they're turning to Bucky and they're giving him the freaking damn ball. If it was Dynasty, I'd probably lean London because wide receivers last long, almost so damn tied anyway, that is a big difference maker, the longevity part. And so, the fact that London's 23 years old, I mean, London is a year younger than Harvey, and he's in his prime. So you got to take London and Dynasty. I think. I think. I would never be mad at somebody for taking Bucky over him, but the shelf life for an RB Dynasty is a lot shorter. I mean, look, Achan's barely been in the league, and now Achan and Kyron, they've just been doing it for a little bit of time, and we're already thinking to ourselves how many more full years left before that starts changing, So I'm definitely all about London and Dynasty, but I think Bucky in redraft, I just think he could be a top 5 running back. It's not that London can't be a top 5 wide receiver. I think we're all thinking that's in the cards, but I just think a little bit more points could be scored by Bucky. I think Bucky's got. I think London could score 12 touchdowns, 11 touchdowns, maybe 13. Bucky could score 15. Bucky could catch 60, 70 balls, possible, at least 65, 400 yards, 500 yards, 3-4 receiving touchdowns, 11, 12 rushing, 1,300 plus rushing. I mean, the amount of yards that Bucky gets on the ground running might not be They might not be more than London's, but they could. They could be the same amount of yardage. Bucky's rushing yards could equal London's receiving yards. And while London will get more receptions to kind of counterbalance that, I think the touchdown difference will be to Bucky. It is what it is. It's very, very, very close. I love both of them. The vote was, I didn't look yet. I don't look at the vote until I'm done. I just pulled it up. Bucky, 60%, London, 40%. Hit me with one more really good question. I'm going to end the poll. Gibbs Bijan, that's too high level, bro. We could argue that all day. There's no answer to that anyway. Gibbs Bijan, too high level, Bryson. Let's be spinning our wheels, man. Pacheco, Javante. Real quickly, I'll just answer that one versus debate long and hard. I just think Blue's going to be the guy. And Pacheco, I think, is a very undervalued player. But can he stay healthy? I don't know. I'd probably go Pacheco because I think he has a higher likelihood of starting more games. But I think this might be more about Blue versus Brashard Smith. You know what I mean? Harvey versus K9. That's pretty good. Yeah. Okay, let's do that one. PPR redraft. Harvey, K9. Whew. I'm not going to look till the end. I mean, it's an easy call for me. I hesitate just to give respect, I think. You know what I mean? I mean, it's an easy call. Harvey's going to ball. Harvey's going to have 1,350, 1,400 yards on the ground rushing. Even if it was 1,290, 1,250, he's going to pull in 300 yards receiving. I think Harvey gets you 15, let's just call it 1,500 plus yards total, 12 to 14 total touchdowns, 40 plus receptions. This is a top 6 to 10 running back. While I believe K9 could deliver, while I believe K9 might be more talented than Harvey, look, I mean, was LaDainian Tomlinson more talented than Arian Foster? Yes. Was Arian Foster just as good? Yes. In fantasy football, he was. In fantasy football, Arian Foster was probably the least talented number 1 overall running back, and he wasn't for 1 year. He was for a long time. Arian Foster had a lot of talent, not calling him mediocre on any level, but was Marshall Faulk or Barry Sanders twice the talent level that Arian Foster was? Yes, 100%. So that doesn't matter sometimes. You're in a system that's going to feed you. You know, Priest Holmes was amazing. Let me put it that way. Was Priest Holmes as good as Barry or as good as Marshall Faulk? No. I mean, he was better. He was pretty close, but no. He was just in an amazing system. You know, he was really good, but he was not that good. He was in an amazing system that was better than the talent. Casey's offense back in the Priest Holmes days, when Priest Holmes was an RB there, was a better system than any running back could ever be. You know, and so Priest was one of the best players to ever play fantasy football into the game, the score in the game. I mean, Priest was amazing. He was so good. He was 3 or 4 touchdowns a game. You know, it was insane. Priest Holmes was insane. Unbelievable. So what I was saying was, okay, so Priest Holmes, you know, K9, is K9 more talented than Harvey? Yes. But, you know, I don't even know if it's that, you know, we can't even really judge that yet because Harvey's so talented. You know, he's such a good one cut and go runner, and he's shifty, and he's got strength that we haven't even seen on display yet. But my point being, I'm defending K9 a little bit just in saying that if we could guarantee he'd stay healthy, I probably would say it's tied or he has a slight edge. but I might just say tied. So if I'm saying tie, if you guarantee me both backs stay healthy and then I give you a tied, what's that really say for Harvey coming in? 0 NFL miles on the odometer. Walker can't stay healthy. Charbonnet's nipping at his heels. It's really not a debate. It really is not a debate. It comes down to risk level. It comes down to Charbonnet literally drooling over work, producing like a top 2 running back last year. Charbonnet in his 5 games played, if you stretch it out over an entire season, Charbonnet scored number 2 overall running back scoring. If you stretch out those 5 games, those 5 starts out of Charbonnet, it's a dangerous player to have breathing down your neck. For that reason, I don't even think this is close. I think Harvey is miles ahead of Kenneth Walker. And I hate saying that. I guess if you told me you had them both cuffed, Walker and Sharps versus Harvey, maybe that's dead even. You give me J.K. Dobbins, who I don't think is going to stay healthy, but he's a great cuff. Then it's back to Harvey and Dobbins beating out Sharps and Walker. The only move to make is you draft Charbonnet and you draft Harvey. And you stay away from Kenneth Walker, and I hope he gets traded. I hope he gets traded. Maybe that change of scenery will help him stay healthy. I don't know. I need something different. Genty versus JT. Joel, I'm not going to even waste my breath on that one. No offense. Garendo could win leagues. Absolutely, Michael. Keaton Mitchell is definitely a sleeper. Go watch the Kenneth. Go watch the Keaton Mitchell, Garendo, both of you. I could tell they're coming back in here, and haven't seen those videos yet. Garendo, Keaton Mitchell, Bashal Tooten, Jaden Blue, Ray Davis. I mean, go watch the handcuff video, boys. You're missing out. You find it hard to trust K9. Of course you do. How could you not? Deebo or Ridley? Give me Deebo. It's definitely a world where Ridley could outscore him, and I love Cam Ward. Cam Ward looks fantastic. But give me Deebo all day. Give me Deebo. The haters that think Deebo looks like he's done, they don't know. They don't even know football, bro. They don't know football. You know how I know they don't know football? Because Deebo's never been light. Deebo looks the same as he's looked for 10 years. He's always been a couple biscuits overdue. And on top of that, he runs at 70% in game because he's a scamper. He runs as if he's playing, I don't know, he's running behind a brick wall of linemen, like and blocking a wide receiver setting illegal screens. That's how Deebo navigates the field. He's never really running full speed. He's just scampering and cutting, taking shortcuts across the field. Bijan or Jamar, you could argue either side, Big T. You guys are way too astronomically high on Genty. Starting with Genty in the first round. I don't know. Joel, I'm not even going to continue reading your regurgitation. I don't know where you heard that from. You're reciting it back like a book. Better chance of getting hurt, Saquon, JK, double B. Who's D-O, D-O, JK Dobbins? Oh, okay, JK double, I got you. JK Dobbins or K9? Probably JK. But they're all very big injury risks this year, my boy. Joel, you're trying to get 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out the door now. And you're like, I'm not saying Genty's bad. I want to make sure I'm okay. I want to make sure I'm okay. I want to make sure I'm okay to come back if he ends up balling out. I could say, I know I liked him. I just wasn't really willing yet to buy in. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, when I get back to the studio, bro. I'm gonna have to take away your Genty card. I'm sorry. Genty should be going in round 4-ish. Bro, you might have had us forgive it, like when you come back in later into the stream and if you said like top of two, but the fact that you just said fourth round, bro. Joel, come on, bro. Fourth round? Did you just say fourth round? I'm taking away your Genty card, your Harvey card, your Hunter card. I'm taking away. Good Lord. You give me a coffee, Joel. What in the hell are you talking about, bro? Round four. Well, bro, whatever channel you were watching before you pulled up this one, I really suggest you unsubscribe and you just log out so that you never can. Oh, no, he's not saying in any league he goes around for. He's just saying that the. No, okay, Joel, here's the thing. You come into this live stream and you say, I think you guys are undervaluing Genty. Yet the entire industry is. So is Joel, as he stands here today, right? But the entire world is the one. And I'm not saying this hasn't happened before. I know you're going to cite Marvin Harrison Jr. as if that has anything to do with this, and it doesn't, Joel. So let me just take your ammunition away right now. Let me just take it straight away from you right now. But Joel, you're acting like we're high on him and I'm peddling out some nonsense out there. The entire his ADP is 8, 9, 10 overall. So are you sitting here saying, I, Joel, know more than every man on earth? I, Joel, am king of fantasy football decision making, and everyone else is wrong. Put it on the board. I don't put it on the board, Joel. You got to drop a $50 super chat to put it on the board. But please do. Please drop a $50 super chat, Joel. The winner gets to be on the phone line for an entire show and kind of co-host the show, Joel. So you can teach us your ways after you're correct on Bijan being worth a fourth rounder. I don't put it on the board, Joel. You got to drop a $50 super chat. Those bold predictions aren't free, Joel. Joel's trying to get a free super chat or a free board drop. I'll put you for free on Planet Uranus because I got a Planet Uranus board, and that's probably I got a screenshot so I can put it on there. Where is it, Joel? Damn it, that one was good. Let's see here. Where did Joel say he was a fourth rounder? Good Lord, Joel, you can't take that back. That's insane. That's one of the worst ones I've heard all year, Joel. I'm truly trying to be gentle on this one. There it is. Okay. Joel said, I love how Joel, I mean, he should be fourth roundish, is all I'm saying. All you're saying, as if he's saying something small. As if he's saying something small. No, I know. I like Genty. I like Genty. Joel, you can't like Genty. Joel, you're not allowed to like Genty anymore. You're not allowed to say you like Genty, Joel. You're not allowed because you just called him a fourth rounder. You said, all I'm saying is he just belongs in round 4. You don't get to say you like Genty when you say he belongs in round 4, Joel. You lost that right the moment you said it. Jeez. Joel says, should I create a league on Sleeper right now and let you all join? No, Joel, I wouldn't do that to you. I don't want that's not I don't like, rolling somebody for an entry fee when it's like clear there's a problem. You know what I mean? Oh my God. Joel, not only are you correct against the entire world by 1 round, but you even go so far as to say everybody's off by not 2 rounds, but everybody's off by 3 rounds. The whole world is so mixed up on Genty. It's not one, it's not two, it's they're 3 rounds wrong on Ashton Genty. Wow. He's talking about a guy that could finish as the RB1. All right. Man, I can't believe I smacked. I can't believe I smacked it. The bike. It's not that bad, but it kind of pisses me off. I'm not going to lie. Oh, Joel. Joel, you made my night. Joel made my night. I like him, Smitty. I'm just saying he belongs around 4. I wonder how this thing does. I wonder how this thing does in incline. I don't even think I'm putting that on the board, Joel, because Joel's getting too much satisfaction out of it. Joel wants a free bull prediction board take. Not bad. 18 miles an hour uphill. That's not bad at all. I'm not giving it any pedal assist or anything. That's 18 miles an hour uphill. I was thinking it was gonna like not go uphill. Yeah, there's a security guard back there. I knew I was gonna get kicked out. All right. Okay. I'll take it out of here. Thank you. I'm sorry. What'd you say? I'm sorry? Once the mall's closed, it's hilarious. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. I get kicked out of everywhere I go. Interview him. No, it was a lady on a golf cart. She's waiting for me to get out of here. This is a good spot. I think I want to come back here. Next time we come here, I'm going to come up here. This is a great place to do a little Q&A. This is where we cheat and we turn back into a car. Or into a motorcycle. Thanks for letting me borrow the sidewalk, but now I'm going back on the street. I'm gonna take my AirPods out potentially for a few minutes to see how the sound how it sounds to you guys, because I watched the replay back the first time we did this and you couldn't hear much. It was like just very faint. The AirPods cancel out everything. It's hard to tell. Super chat. I think I got a couple super chats here. Let me go. I think I might have missed somebody's. Let me go look at the super chats here. First one was by better chance of getting hurt. I read that one already. Justin asked another one. Sounds like he wanted Genty, but Genty went the pick before him. Yeah, that sounds like what Joel was going after. Is it Joel was his name? Google says Genty goes in the fourth round in a blind only fantasy league. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate you dropping those super chats. I don't know what is he still clamoring about that? Poor Joel. Do you believe in Bucky Irving, Joel? All right, I'm going to take these out. Or actually, you know what? Let me just turn my... There, I turned my Bluetooth off. I'll keep them in. All right, hey, can you guys hear me okay? Is it different audio? Does it sound a little bit more loud? It probably sounds a little bit less quality or a little not condensed, right? So tell me how the sound is. I'm gonna drive out of here. Audio is better. My quality just as nice. Okay, well it's gonna sound crazy now. You're gonna have a lot more background noise. So you're gonna actually hear what it sounds like. Is that different? There's a little bit of the disc brake is on the front is rubbing, so you hear a little bit of a... $25, $30. Sounds like I need a brake job, but I don't. That was 30 miles an hour. $25. How does that sound? It sounds a lot more intensive, doesn't it? Yeah, audio is definitely better like this. Okay. The way that thing reaches 88 miles per hour. Jeff, don't test me. Don't test me, Jeff. We'll put the flux capacitor in this bad boy and I'll see if it does it. There's no reason this thing can't go 88 miles per hour. $27, $28, $30, $31. I've never got it to 32. 32. I've never got it to 32 before. I did skip a meal today. $31, $32. We're hitting speeds that have never been traveled before on a fantasy football live stream. I want to say we're the only fantasy football show to ever live stream on a scooter, but I almost certainly believe we're the only ones to electric moped this bad boy. All right, doing it live, answering questions, going 30 miles per hour. All right, that's all she wrote. Yeah, these are amazing. These things are awesome. For those that don't know what this is, it's a it's a Melod. I put that on there today. If you're not first or last, it's just a sticker. So it's a Melod. They have a dual motor and dual battery. This is the battery. The dual motor would make it obviously have better pickup, but you know, it works. I like it. It does look like a bobber in a way. Oh, I hit the horn. All right, I'm out of here. Reese's Pieces or Chase Brown, probably, I don't know. I'd probably say Chase Brown's a little safer. What else we got? Nice bike, thank you. Thank you, Rain, appreciate you. All right, anything else? I think I'm out of here. Got 80 of you in here though. Maybe we should just walk straight into the studio and do more. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll call it a night. Quick opinion on Josh Jacobs. Man, let me turn the lights back on. I think, you know, Josh Jacobs definitely... Let me turn the lights back on. Josh Jacobs definitely did what we thought he would do last year, which is ball out. I mean, that's what we thought. That's what we had projected for him. He was a league winner. He was a Mars man. And I think people, you know, we got a discount on him last year, but I think just because we got a discount on him last year doesn't mean that, you know, I believe that he's still worth the higher price tag this year. I'm not saying he isn't. I'm not saying he's going to bust, but there are just players that tend to go around his ADP all day long that I like better. You know, it comes down to regression, you know, and the fact that I do believe that he regresses a little bit. He's also, you know, been injured like every other year, if I remember correctly. He's also taken a beating. He also took a beating. He was back in a Raiders uniform when they were the Oakland Raiders. So, you know, he's taken a beating waiting for his heyday. And he's kind of like, you know, I don't know, just a risk to me in that third round territory. Give me Hampton, give me Harvey at cost. I'm not drafting Harvey necessarily over him because Harvey goes around 5. Give me Hendy at cost. I'm not drafting Hendy near, but that allows me to go third round Kyron shopping if I want to take another RB, or it allows me to go third round McBride shopping if McBride falls. It lets me go JD5 early quarterback if I want to go JD5 early quarterback. It lets me do a lot of different things. And I just think that Harvey could outscore Jacobs very easily. Hendy could outscore Jacobs very easily. Chase Brown could outscore Jacobs very easily. I draft Chase Brown over Jacobs. Absolutely. Number 1 running back, CMC, no. No. And sorry, Jeff. Jeff, you're in the wrong room, bro. I know you're trying to find a Niner show, but yeah, Chase Brown over Jacobs all day. Jeff was trying to find the Niner live stream. Jeff, that's over that way. George Kittle, the #1 tight end. Christian McCaffrey, the #1 running back. Can anybody guess what my favorite team is? Tomorrow we'll have a live stream on Bijan. There's that photo on my Instagram that shows Bijan going like this with his guns next to Christian McCaffrey, and they both look fit. McCaffrey does look good, by the way, Jeff. You'll be excited as far as his, physicality, but like his Achilles are hanging on by a thread. But we'll be doing a show on Bijan. Bijan looks so good. I mean, he's gonna ball out. He's gonna ball the hell out. Thoughts on Samson, Smitty? I mean, exactly what we predicted for Samson all offseason, my boy. Samson, what I said about Judkins is coming to fruition. He's going to be potentially, just like Caleb Johnson, a little one-dimensional because of the pass catchers in front of him. And Dylan Sampson, I had all offseason and still have ranked as a better running back than Judkins. Doesn't mean Judkins isn't in a better spot. I'd rather Sampson be drafted as the first and second down player than him try and get all the work. Of course, I'm not an idiot. But before the draft unfolded, Dylan Sampson was and still is ranked higher than Judkins on my personal rankings, as far as like prospects. But the landing spot does make Judkins more attractive. But Sampson's going to, if there's even a sliver, an opening, Sampson's going to take it at some point. Or Judkins could take it. Either way. Who do you have getting more rushing this year? Or no, who do I have winning the rushing title? Probably Bijan. Bijan or Genti. Bijan or Genti could win the rushing title. I think, Gibbs has a shot. Barkley's got a shot if he stays healthy. But I think if Bijan wins the rushing title, he'll be injured before he actually wins it. That's the problem. Keep in mind that Bijan doesn't see 8-man fronts anymore. Like it's going to be, he will, but Bijan's going to see different defensive spacing than he's ever seen before. Bijan's going to rip off 5.5 yards per carry. Bijan's never going to see holes this big before. He's going to just rip through them. Gibbs could win the rushing title. It's certainly possible. Yep, Jordan Mason's a midseason monster for a reason, Jeff. Jeff, I know everybody you talk about's either been a Niner or has been a Niner, but we were on Jordan Mason before, Jeff, you even knew who he was back in San Francisco. But I appreciate you anyway. Victor says, way much rather have ETN than Genti. No, Victor. That's come on, man. That's you're on Joel's burner account. Is it Joel? You're on Joel's burner account, bro. This is Joel again. Come on, bro. I don't even care if you're talking cost of entry. I don't even care what you're trying to say there. Victor, I'm taking away your Bijan card, your Achane card, your Travis Hunter card, your I mean, was it Joel? Was his name Joel? I mean, Joel saying, is it Joel? Him saying that Baby Genty was getting overdrafted. I was picturing him saying, like, we should take him at 15 overall. But when he dropped the 4th round. Oh, man. That's you talking about Mixon versus Genty. What are we doing? What are we doing? Then Victor, what are you doing, bro? And we like ETN. We went to bat for ETN yesterday. They don't write him off yet. ETN could still. He was a top 5 running back once. Unreal. What was this vote? Mixon is closer to retirement home. Mahomes will probably outrush ETN. I'll make a bet with you, Victor. I mean, I don't bet followers because it's not a good look. I don't do that. I let you guys do super chat challenges. I say I'll like write your name on my, on my arm, like write arm tattoo sleeves, basically on my arms coming to a live stream or whatever. But I'm gonna make a challenge. You can clip this, and it's bold and it's fun. But I think both, and I like ETN. I'm rooting for him. I really am. And we talked about it last night. You should not write him off. You should definitely grab him and cuff him to the duo. Really, it's like a trio. But you got to be in the right kind of league to do that. It's very rare you can hold that many RBs, or you go 0 RB and then you grab the whole Jaguar backfield with maybe one, like a Harvey. And so I would say my daughter's up. It's 11 o'clock. My 4-year-old. Hello, through the window. I'll be right in. I'll say this. I think Bo Nix outscores ETN. Clip it. Or outrushes ETN yardage. I think Bo Nix outrushes ETN in rushing yards. Clip it. It's bold, but clip it. Clip it. I'm not scared. Aaron Jones over Genty. Come on. Who said that? Just because Aaron Jones is proven. Big T, you're not serious, bro. Bro, Big T, please. Don't make Joel look like he knows what he's talking about. Big T, please. You're on my Patreon. We love you, pal. I'm not trying to. Don't be. Come on. Hot take Aaron Jones over Genty. Come on. You're making Joel look like he's a 3-time world champion at fantasy football right now. Big T, don't do it. Don't make Big T, please. Oh my God, Big T. All right, I better get in there. Big T, you just made Joel look like a superstar. Oh, Big T sarcasm. Thank God. Thank God. I was like, I know this guy. I've seen his takes. This isn't him. This isn't him. Justin with another super chat. Justin, appreciate you, my boy. Justin said, Achan and AJ Brown for Genty. That's a lot, though. Have Poke over She Rice. I'm loaded. I mean, this sounds like a 10-man league. In 10-man leagues, you can do that stuff all day long. It doesn't matter. Yeah, 10-man league. If it's a 10-man league, I'm fine with it because you're loaded. You're stacked. It's just extra players. Not a big deal. But if it's a 12-man, you got Poke over She Rice, AJ Brown, Genty. Give me Genty. In that context, yeah. If you have the depth for it, it's a 10-man league. Is it 10? Victor, just do your own thing, bro. You never know, says Joel. Joel's going to bat for Victor. Joel, don't worry. Don't listen to Smitty. You and I are right. The rest of the world is wrong. It'll help to repair the pedal. Thank you, Big T. I might need to buy another pedal. It's going to bother me. I'll probably leave it. It's not that bad, but it does bother me. It does bother me that it's not perfect now. It does bother me that beast mode.
Hurley, Yeti. It does bother me that I ruined beast mode a little bit. I can't believe I did that. Justin says, yes, 10-man, some loaded teams for sure. It's hard to get rid of those kind of trades, bro. You almost got to do that in order to get like a big dog. Like you're oversaturated with talent. And while a passerby might, like watching the channel right now, might be like, oh, you can't give up H.N. and A.J. Brown. In 10-man leagues where everyone's stacked and you're benching guys like A.J. Brown, you got Deebo on the bench, you got, players like that on your bench. Who else do you have in your bench, bro? Just so I know. I mean, A.J. Brown might be irrelevant in 2 years to a certain degree. H.N. might have 2-3 years left before we start really panicking. You know what I mean? Like, that's how short shelf lives are. And Genty's just a freaking world star, bro. Hot take, Travis. It's hot take. Cold take is a good thing. Yeah. I'm going. Look, Joel, I'm not mad at you or anything. Like, I'm not saying you're telling everybody out to listen. I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing because you came with the coldest take I've heard all year, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you still. I just, usually when someone comes with that strong of a take, we can kind of convince you to get a little bit closer. So I guess maybe that's my goal, is to help you a little bit. But I mean, 4th round, bro, you gotta look in the mirror and ask yourself, why are you predicting 4th round value for Genty? Why did you come in here trying to sound the alarm and tell people that we need to re-examine how we're valuing Genty? What is remember, I have a psych degree, bro. What is the underlying reason and cause for your anti-Genty take, to the degree where you're willing to go in front of everybody right now and put a receipt out there that doesn't just say we're overvaluing Genty? That'd be big enough to reflect on and go, hey, remember when Joel said that? But not even 2nd round Genty, not even 3rd round Genty. You're saying Genty belongs in the 4th round-ish, is what you said. And you got to look in the mirror, bro, and ask yourself, what happened? What trauma? And there is certainly a trauma involved in this. You either predicted something bad for him in college, it didn't work out, and now he's amazing. You're trying to double down on that. Or you missed out on him in a draft. Somebody screwed you over in a trade, was supposed to give you the 1.1. You didn't get it, so you drafted Hampton, and now you're against Genty. Something along those lines occurred, bro. I'm telling you right now, I didn't get a psych degree for nothing, my boy. There's something going on here. I know that. I can smell it out from a mile away. All I'm asking for you is to look into that, to make sure you reassess and don't approach the rest of the offseason this way, because you're going to miss out. Devontae Smith, Jaden Reed, Olave, bench pretty weak. Still have draft, though. Devontae Smith, Jaden Reed, Olave, bench pretty weak. Okay. I don't know. Chad, does anybody feel, based on his what he just said about those that situation right there with his receivers, Devontae Smith and Reed, do you think he should be trading away Achane? What will your running back room look like? Yeah, I don't know. I think Genty stole his lunch money, maybe. I don't know. Devontae Smith is pretty solid. Plain and simple, he's a Genty hater. Ghosted on yeah, maybe he was supposed to sign an autograph and he didn't. That's a very, very good take. I'm keeping Olave personally. I still believe in him, says Big T. Travis, like, what do you mean, though? I'm just being me, bro. Listen to all sorts of fantasy. I don't know, Joel. It does. I'll be honest. It does sound like you're repeating something. Because how else could someone come to the take that Genty belongs in round 4? That's crazy, man. I don't know. That's wild. I mean, you're so far away from where the average is. The average is, well, the average is 1.8. You know, the average is 1.8, man. How many rookies am I comfortable taking? My entire running back bench could be rookies. The entire bench. That we just did it in the Horseman draft. the horseman draft that's heard around the country. All right, I'm gonna have to jump out of here. My daughter's literally banging on the glass. I'll see you all later. Appreciate you. I'll be live a couple times tomorrow. We're doing a Bijan show and more.